guys because they like to talk. It's funny. It's hard to say stuff like you. Oh, that was a good shot. Okay, whatever. No, I came up with some good ones.
What's the temperature?
Oh, let me look. Oh, it's right over there.
Oh, no, I can see it. It's 80. It's 80. 79. You blew my joke.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't know there was one there. I looked at it.
None of us can see that far anymore. Yeah, it's hard. And John talks has good things to say. John has good things to say.
What?
Yeah, good things to say.
I have what?
He's a good commentator. Pretty good. And
you're only as good as your workmates. So.
Oh, good. That took a while to get there. It was a little
I'm
slow on the
saying
uptake. Slow on the uptake.
I'm learning. It's hard, and I have to remember not to interrupt.
Tracy's doing it tomorrow. She's done it better. So.
Oh, good. She's doing it tomorrow. That's awesome.
You're probably doing it too tomorrow.
I'm supposed to.
3 of us are too many.
My mom went back in the hospital on Saturday.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, she had a second fracture in her 5th vertebrae. So her 6th one is crushed. It's done, but it's not bothering her anymore. The 5th one, they have this new filler that they put in there. It's like an epoxy, and they've repaired it. So now she actually doesn't have any pain.
Wonderful.
So she's coming home this afternoon.
That's
From the
good.
hospital. Yeah.
So it goes for the discs?
Well, what happens is once the bones start to crumble, it starts to inflammation occurs, and it irritates, and then of course there's tremendous pain.
It is. Yeah.
My mom had it. Like the 6th one, now that it's fully crushed and it didn't seem to bother the spinal cord, it's probably not hurting anymore. You know how like you see old women walking around like this?
Yeah.
They've had a couple of those. That now they have no disc left. It's like crushed.
And they can't put it underneath. You can put in a plastic.
Well,
subzone.
they have this new epoxy filler that they don't have to do surgery. So that's. It's got a. Does he have a vertebrae problem? Well, this epoxy filler is amazing.
Yeah, and they can put like a fake one in to buffer.
Well, I have a couple that are bulging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's in the lower portion of my back, and if I sit too long, it takes me forever.
Well, you know how they what do you call it? Just start going on top of each other. They can now underneath that way. They can now put something underneath it, so it elevates the disc, I guess.
Like a foam disc.
It's something. I said plastic. I don't know what the hell it is.
Yeah, that would require. Maybe they can do it now with this epoxy, where they just.
And that sounds better. If you want to like a
Yeah, like a syringe. and
syringe
then
and just
fill
pop
it
it in
up.
there. Wow.
It's like filling a tube.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, it's
I'm
amazing.
glad it worked.
The doctors are very excited about it because they actually can do something for something now. You know?
Will she still have to be on her walker? She might be
Actually, she was off the walker.
I just saw it. When did I see her?
That was at
Yeah, but
this
got
it.
past week. She's been walking without the walker,
Okay.
and then of course this happened again. So yeah, but when she goes to the grocery store with Dad, that's
Now,
gotta be a scene.
Do you have a caregiver to give your dad?
No, not yet, but I have 100 hours for babysitting for a respite at $6 an hour for Prudential. They give us all 100 hours. So I'm like, okay, I'm using that next week. And for $6 an hour. And then after that, that'll help him at least get out of the house and do things. And then we will determine what kind of schedule we need to have. We don't have a schedule yet. She's not even home. We don't even know what her capabilities are when she comes home this time. We know that basically she probably can't be left alone anymore. Are you having fun on the camera?
I keep messing up.
So are we, don't worry.
He's always like, I don't know.
But you're learning.
Right.
That's awesome.
Have they told you you have a face for radio yet?
I know that saying, but it's not very nice. I have a face for radio. You have a face for radio. Yeah, I guess it's, well, all people on TV have like makeup, lots of makeup on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Someone told me that once, and I was like,
What did you think about that?
I was like, oh.
Just a disc jockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was never a disc jockey. I don't really have to worry about it.
You don't have a desire to be one. No, you don't seem to be. Like, you know people who, like Ryan Seacrest. He had a desire to be one of those.
And I'll be like,
No, we've got one ready to
I'd only play my music. I would do like, oh,
Yeah.
practice court.
That's done. That's done. We're only on this court. And this one.
TV, camera.
Oh. I know, I can't remember it.
Hey, grab a chair that Bob said between us. 'Cause he doesn't need the headphones. Joy, just like that. Then we can both hear him instead of.
Manhattan Beach Badminton Club International. This is an Olympic qualifying event, the last of the series. This is the semifinals of the women's singles. We have Akvila Stapusaityte from Lithuania against Janine Cicognini from Italy.
And if we were betting people, we'd place our money in Janine because she comes into the tournament ranked #1, and Akvila enters the tournament unseeded. She was the only Lithuanian competitor and did really well reaching this stage.
Unbelievable to come in here and not be a seeded player and make it this far. This could be the upset of the tournament.
And Janine's the second of the 3 Italian players who are in the singles semi-final. The third Italian player will be seen later in the men's singles final, but obviously Italy is producing strong singles players currently.
They've come a long way in their badminton careers at this point.
Right now the players are just warming up, becoming loose, practicing a few shots.
Joy, tell us a little bit about your experiences in the Olympics. Where did you play, and what was the effort you had to make to play in the Olympics?
Well, it was the first time we'd done the 18-month point scoring. We earn points toward the Olympics, and you have to achieve a certain ranking. And it took 18 months to do, and that was 1991 to 1992. And then I did actually qualify for the Olympics within my zone, and I was able to compete in Barcelona.
So you talk about zones for qualifying. People earning points from this zone, are they compared internationally or only in the North American zone or the South American zone? And what are the zones?
I think there's a Pan-American zone, so that's one zone. And I think there's a minimal representation from each zone. So that is the opportunity for a weaker zone to get players into the Olympics in badminton.
Now, John, I know you and I are a little bit older. Were you able to compete in the Olympics? I know we're a little older, and it wasn't in when I was playing, but was it still available to you to compete in the Olympics?
It's so long ago I can't remember.
That's a good one.
I think you and I both played in the Olympic festival, the first Olympic festival, yes, which memory alludes as to where it was from. But I do remember I won the men's doubles with Tom Reedy for the blue team.
Oh, I don't think I was playing at that time. I think I was done playing. I know I was playing practice. I was on the Olympic practice squad. I think Chris Kennard organized that. But I think I was done when you were playing with Reedy. The last time I played, you were still playing with Gary Higgins. You guys were the number one ranked players in the U.S. at the time.
Yeah, that's in the distant past. I think Joy's more up to date. I believe, though, they used to have Olympic festivals which helped qualify or nominate people for all the sports, and they did away with Olympic festivals many years ago. Joy can probably fill us in.
I don't remember the last one, but they had 3 prior to the 1992 Olympics.
Three that were badminton was included in.
That was badminton, 89, 90, and 91.
San Antonio?
No, it was
Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
And
Yeah.
USC.
Oklahoma City,
USC, because I
Minneapolis.
played at USC. Okay. Oh, that was the
Minneapolis.
second one.
Yeah, and then it was
right.
University of Southern California for the
Right.
third one.
Anyway, we're almost ready to start this men's singles. Excuse me, this women's singles final. I was close. My eyes aren't what they used to be.
The Lithuanian player started out with a traditional high deep serve. This is something you don't see very much these days. Most players serve with a low serve, but she chooses to serve with a high deep serve.
Yeah, so Akrila takes the opening point.
The player in the blue is Janine Cicognini from Italy. She's now is leading 2-1.
It looks like the players right now are not quite loose yet. They're trying to feel each other out.
And you can already see a sharp contrast between this match and the men's match that preceded it. It's a lot slower. They're more distinct into where they're playing the shuttlecock or the bird. It won't be quite as quick as the men's singles.
John's right. Forcing your opponent to run in women's singles is a good strategy. It's harder for them to cover corner to corner than it is for the men. And we'll see more corner-to-corner play.
And already they're having to change the bird. I think it was the mishit from Janine causing the shuttle to break a little bit. So Akrila is going to serve, trailing 2-3.
Unforced error by Janine from Italy.
The Italian player seems to be, she's looks like she has an injury. She has a little limp. One of the wheels looks like they've gone a little bit south. It may take a few points to warm that leg up, get it operating the way she wants to, but it could be an injury that's going to affect her throughout the match.
You might be able to notice the trailing tape she has running up her lower left leg.
Janine is playing a little bit flatter, lower to catch Akvila off guard and not be able to get to the bird.
A lovely drop shot from the Italian there, just skipping and skimming off the net as it crossed it. She is now ahead by 6-3 early in the first game.
Nice movement to the back by Janine, but an unforced error. Well played by the Italian.
The Italian's backhand underhand stroke has a little hitch to it, so it looks like it's deceptive at this point.
Good round ahead cross-court smash, but that was caused by Janine hitting the shuttle so short. She didn't hit it nearly far enough back and allowed the Lithuanian player to attack and win the point. She's close to within 2 points of Janine.
Another
Unforced error.
Again, the service fault. The racket head was above the player's wrist, and that is illegal. You have to keep the head of the racket below your wrist. An indication from the service judge was the head of the racket was above the.
nice shot. Mixing it up, different pace, corner to corner again. Just an easy block.
The Lithuanian actually hit a short shot there and made it easy for the Italian player.
Italian using the backhand serve to keep it low so she can cut off the return.
Another short shot by the Lithuanian. The shot barely made it to half court, made it easy on the Italian player.
And Janine's taken 11-6 lead midway through the first set. So as we've said, the players get a minute's break at which they can have a drink. The coach can come on and advise them to keep doing what they're doing or change the game. Enjoy. Is there anything you think either player should change?
Well, you definitely need to keep your opponent moving. So you have to keep them deep, and you have to play tight net shots. And if you want to play a flat game, it may not be a good idea against the Italian. She cuts off the bird very well. She's looking for you to hit it flat so she can cut it off. She does not want to run corner to corner.
So we're changing the bird before we recommence the game, with the Italian leading 11-6. And again, we have to remind you, Janine is the #1 seed in the tournament, so it is expected she should win this game. Just missing with that very delicate cross-court backhand net shot. But the Lithuanian player moves to within 3 points. Tried the same shot, but this time with no success. She missed it, in other words.
The Lithuanian player has hit her clears deeper in these past few points, pushing Janine to the back. And that was a short clear.
Well played by the Italian. The Italian was able to force an attacking drive game there to get the short shot. As soon as the bird came up short, she put it away.
And the Lithuanian very unlucky with that shot. It was millimeters out. And that time, the Lithuanian player was lucky. It was millimeters in.
At this point, if I was advising the Lithuanian player, I would tell her to run her opponent. hit high defensive clears, drops and clears, run her at this point.
And that's good advice, because you did say she has a slight injury that must be affecting her. And she struggles sometimes to get back into the right spot, but she's ahead.
Another unforced error, and that's what's hurting her at this point.
That's a smart shot. All the way to the back court, forcing the Italian to move all the way to the back and execute a shot.
And she's won a couple of points doing that same backhand cross-court drop shot from the low serve. Neither player has actually used the high serve yet, but Joy wants some to keep it deep, so why not start Joy with a high serve? I think actually there's been one.
Maybe she's not confident. She hasn't given it a try, and at this point in this game, being behind, she's afraid of an error.
Yeah, but sometimes when you're behind, you need to change the game. Is there anything you think the Lithuanian player should do to maybe decrease the lead?
She needs to hit it not as flat. She doesn't want the Italian Janine to cut off the shuttle. So a high deep serve might be in order.
It used to be, Bob, weren't you the same? If things weren't going well for you, losing, you'd try and change your game somehow, even if it was a simple thing like changing your serve.
Absolutely. Beautiful shot.
There didn't seem to be anything wrong with the Italian's fitness or
Not there.
injury there. Moved very quickly.
She's using her height to her advantage. She's cutting off short shots, low shots, and taking advantage of it.
Yeah, and I think Joy pointed out that we think Lithuanian player Arkvila should maybe clear a bit more and keep her deeper. Don't play the flat shots. Joy said that I think she's getting beaten when it's a flat rally.
It's a good shot.
Good eye.
The Italian's good at keeping the rally within her radius.
Oh, beautiful shot, but did not make it over. It is a game point.
It was a desperately unlucky with that shot, because had it come over, she wouldn't have been a gain point. She would have still been in the game, but badminton's a game of millimeters, and that millimeter error
Cost her.
Unfortunately, there's no lines
There-
people in the area. There are supposed to be lines
There-
people over the middle serve.
There is a beautiful sportsmanship by the Italian player calling the bird out for her opponent.
She unforced error on a short serve. That was a short high serve.
And that's it. Game point to the Italian. She wins the first game. There will now be a 2-minute break while they can towel off, talk to their coaches. Enjoy. What do you think of the first game?
Well, I felt that the Aquila was tentative, and the Italian Janine controlled the game by keeping everything within her reach and controlling the trajectory of Aquila's shots.
Bob, anything from you?
I got to agree 100%. I think that she made too many unforced errors, and really, at this point, she has to keep the bird in without making errors. I will say this. It's been a long tournament so far for them. It is 80 degrees right inside the gym right now in beautiful Manhattan Beach, California. So this may have its toll on the players, but right now at this point they haven't had very many long rallies.
Right, so are you saying that you don't think fitness will be a factor immediately when they start the second game? Because as you said, not many long rallies, not a lot of energy seemingly expended.
I agree, yes, absolutely. They are not running that much, and I believe they need to, especially the Lithuanian player, should run the Italian player a little bit more and maybe throw in some defensive clears again.
I agree, because I think, as we thought the first game, the Italian is carrying a minor injury, and that will affect her game.
Yeah, this is one of those matches. This is Dean Shoppy here. This is one of those matches where these two girls really know each other, both being out of Europe, and they really have played quite a few times in the past, and so it'll be really interesting to see the corrections that their coaches make as this match goes on.
And you hear how loud I'm talking? That's how loud you have to speak. You're not loud enough, and you're not loud enough. Speak loud. Don't be tennis voice. Be badminton voice. I only did that to show you how loud.
Okay, second game underway. The number 1 seed in the tournament won the first game. Can she make it 2 straight games and win the match? So the first point of the second game goes to the number 1 seed. Desperately close, but she fallen to 3 points to 0 behind the Italian.
That's the way that Akvila needs to play. Corner to corner, running her opponent, keeping it out of her opponent's reach. So in that case, she was able to prolong the rally long enough to win the point. She's got a case of nerves on the serve, I think.
Yeah, as we've said before, you don't want to give your opponent free points. And missing a serve is giving your opponent a free point.
Good cross-court shot. Kept it out of her opponent's reach. It was a little bit of a risk.
I don't think this is a tactical timeout to get her breath back, is it? Tie both your shoes.
I don't think so. I think she's not tired at this point, but her shoes may be a little bit loose and she may be sliding in them. Beautiful return and an error.
After such a great recovery, she must be disappointed that she missed that backhand drop. But the number 1 seed pulls into a 5-2 lead. Excellent spot for that return. Deep into the backhand corner. 3-5.
Again, the Italian was patient. She waited for the short shot. As soon as she got the short shot, she hit a around the head cross-court smash to win the point.
Both players taking a little time between points now, which would suggest they're getting a little bit tired, taking a few extra moments to get their breath back.
Yes, they've had some rallies this game, some long rallies.
And the Lithuanian winning that point with a lovely drop shot return from the service. The score is 4-6. And a mistake by the Italian girl. Easy point for a Griel.
Cross-court shot was effective, but unfortunately she missed the return drive down the line.
Joy, I see both these players' coaches sitting at the back corner of the side of the court their players are on. Are they allowed to coach during the game from that position?
Yes, they can talk to the players. Now, that's the new rules.
Can they talk during the rally?
I don't think so. I think it would disturb the player.
What if you yelled out?
That's obstruction, I think.
At this point, the Lithuanian coach is actually coaching, and I think he really does need to speak up and give her some advice at this point.
Yeah, she hasn't changed her game, or it seems like she hasn't changed her game too much, and she's trailing again. There's a high serve, but she hits it out. Maybe that's why she doesn't hit more high serves.
Yeah, she's got a case of nerves and having trouble with her serve, so.
That is basically a free point. Beautiful shot there. She held the person at the net, put it behind her on the forehand corner. Side out. She turns around and tries a low serve and gets burned on the return of serve.
And I believe that's the 5th or 6th time that the Italians won a point with that return. Oh, great smash. She's pleased with that shot too. Good mobility. And we've reached the 11th point in the second game again, so they get a minute timeout. Joy, as a singles player of the group, what do you think the Lithuanian can do to get back into this game? She's trailing by a set and within 10 points of losing the match.
Well, she has to find a serve that's going to work for her in this game, and the high serve has not worked. She is not able to execute that right now, so that's taken a huge percentage of her options away. So, and her more recent low serves have been ineffective. So maybe she could try a flick serve. However, the Italian's very good at cutting off the bird.
Perhaps she should change the location of where she's serving.
She's
been serving wide to the backhand, and the girl's winning so many points from that cross-court backhand drop.
You are absolutely right. She should either serve to the tee on the odd court or go high and deep on the odd court, and then on the even court, go ahead and serve low wherever you want. But right now, when she's serving wide on the odd court, she's coming in and brushing the bird with a cross-court net drop and outright winning the point without a rally.
So anyway, 11-7 as we resume. A lovely shot winning point for Lithuanian. Perhaps this will give her a bit more confidence for the remainder of this game. But again, both players going on a walkabout to steal extra seconds of a rest.
It appears that there's something that the the Lithuanian coach said that may have helped her out, or at least gave her some inspiration.
I know Coach Higgins always inspired you or I when we were talking to him.
I learned a lot from Gary Higgins. He
And
was
so did I.
Yeah, he masterful player and a great guy off the court. She went for an attacking shot there. She had the shot and made an unforced error into the net. If she just plays it an inch or even 3 inches over the net, at least she's going to make the girl work.
Janine was fully in control of that rally. Her shots were very effective, and it put Akvila on the defense the entire time, I felt.
She is dictating the rallies at this point. She is in complete control. Even when she's making errors, she's in control.
Yes, I'm afraid Akvila is showing signs of nerves and fatigue here.
Very nice net shot right there. Just out. A beautiful shot, but out.
A nice soft shot, which forces Janine to make a shot without just blocking. She has to actually execute it.
And the one thing we have to take into consideration, and the umpire's actually picking up on what I said. They're both going walkabout to gain a few seconds of break, and he's made a note of it too and warned the players to continue to play. But what I was about to say is Dean reminded us at one of the breaks, these players play in Europe, play each other quite often, so they know each other's game. So they'll it has to be cat and mouse. The cat doesn't want the mouse to know what it's doing and vice versa. So they have to maybe change their game when they play each other.
That was a good shot. It just was unfortunately long.
Oh my. The Italian was on the attack, dictating play, and makes an unforced error, which appeared to be a winning point, but it was clearly out.
Akvila was able, again, to prolong the rally to force the error.
There's that backhand cross-court drop shot we talked about.
And she was actually able to get that shot back. I think that might be the first time, John.
I think it's the first time she's set up a winning point for herself from it, certainly. Yeah, her return was great, deep into the Italian's backhand.
Again, a short shot. The Italian forced the short shot and took advantage of it.
And they're going walkabout, as I call it. And let's see if the umpire says anything. Nope.
The Italian player tried to fool her with a flick serve there. The Lithuanian player was ready for it and jumped on it. Oh.
Janine is a very powerful player. She seldom hits it short, so Akvila is constantly scrambling in the back.
And on that rally, the Italian player was actually in a little bit of trouble, had to overrun her shot at the net, lifted it out high and deep, and was able to maintain the rally and win the point with an unforced error on the backcourt.
And interestingly enough, that rally started from a flick serve that almost caught the Italian napping, but she managed to stay in the rally.
At this point, the Italian player feels the match. She's fired up. She realizes it's within her grasp.
Good shot off the short serve.
So the Lithuanian staying within catching distance here. Or touching distance, as you say in America. But she still needs points to get back in this game.
That's nice. Akvila moved her corner to corner and was able to cause the error.
Unforced error creates the momentum, and a little gamesmanship going on here too, folks. Another unforced error.
Those are some good serves, though, too. Good serves, but unforced error. Yeah.
Puts her right back into the match at 17-19.
Oh, desperately unlucky.
That was a winner, had it gone in.
That was a rally she controlled, but just missed it. So it's
Match point.
It looked like Akvila was actually starting to get her game together at the end there.
It was just a little bit too late. The Italian was dictating points and made a few unforced errors to let her back into the match right there.
So the winner of this contest, moving on to the final, is the #1 seed.
Janine Cicognini.
And she goes one step further than her fellow Italian males player. We lost in the first men's semifinal today. But we'll find out later who she's actually playing in tomorrow's final. So Joy, any final comments?
Well, I was happy to see that Akvila was able to get her game back in the end there. But as we talked about, it was a little bit too little too late. And if it weren't for that error at or the missed smash at 17-19, she would be back in the game.
Yep. So we are going to take a timeout now. Upcoming next should be the other men's singles semifinal to see who goes through to tomorrow's final to play against Job Castillo from Mexico, our 8th seed.
The Manhattan Beach Badminton Club would like to thank the following sponsors for their generous support of the 2016 Manhattan Beach International Open. Farmers Insurance, Russo Design, Chevron, Wells Fargo, Connecta, Shade Hotel, Stroik, City of Manhattan Beach, Porsche, MBX, Portraits of Hope, Strand House, McDonald's, Manhattan Beach, downtown, Houlihan Lokey, Skechers, Patty Brown Physical Therapy. The Manhattan Beach Badminton Club would like to thank the following sponsors for their generous support of the 2016 Manhattan Beach International Open. Ashaway, HL Badminton, Maccabi USA, McDonald's, Rockin' Brews, Rockin' Fish, Baruco